Pascal Probst from Heidelberg, please.
Dear chairs, dear colleagues, it's a pleasure to be here and present to you a new evidence-based tool we developed in Heidelberg. And I think all the speakers before me have made a great job. They have given you a great overview on the body of evidence. And what do you do at home if you want to have an overlook on the body of evidence? You can bluntly type in pancreatic surgery to PubMed, and you will see there is one article in 1887, but over time there is an increasing body of evidence. Last year, 6,500 articles were published, and now the body of evidence on pancreatic surgery is way over 100,000 articles. So if you want to read this, you would need about 15 years of reading. So it is obvious there is a need for selection, and there is also a need for concentration on the robust articles. So as the overview is worsening, the research activities are also less harmonized between the clinical relevance and the political relevance, and this is also one of the reasons why so much waste evidence is existing rather than needed evidence. So what we would need is evidence at a glance for surgeons, researchers, and for funding bodies, or in other words, we would need a systematic and living, this means always up-to-date evidence map of pancreatic surgery. And I'm honored to present to you this web-based project we launched in Heidelberg, and it is live by today. So systematic means we made a systematic literature search. It is now 3 months old, and we looked for any intervention which has an influence on surgical outcome in our pancreatic patients. We went through about 20, finally to the 292 RCTs with more than 30,000 patients. And we also included about 255 high-quality systematic reviews, and we were able to group them in 74 different research topics and perform 20 living meta-analyses, and identified also 12 research gaps, evidence gaps, where RCTs are lacking. And what does living mean? We will update this evidence map every 3 months regularly, and of course some of you do post their trials on social media, and we will immediately include them into the evidence map. So what can you do with such a large amount of data? You can of course study the quality of all these trials, as we have recently published in the British Journal of Surgery. You can do old mapping with bubble plots, and you can also use this large amount of data to do benchmarking. But we wanted to do more with our web-based project, and we formed a mind map. In the center you will find pancreatic surgery, and you can go through the mind map by logical links, and you will find this mixture of diseases and of interventions. And if you look for which intervention do we have for distal pancreatectomy, maybe you're interested what to do with the pancreatic remnant during distal pancreatectomy, and one of the research topics there is autologous coverage. And you look then, if you look then closer at autologous coverage, you will see immediately by the symbols that there are RCT existing and there are meta-analysis existing on this topic, and we also flag follow-up RCT and RCT protocols. In this case, 4 RCT are present, and one of them was published in 2016 by our colleague Hassenpflug, and you can immediately press on this icon and you will find the full reference and also the conclusion of this article. You can press on the link to get to the journal homepage, and you can also have, for those topics we made a meta-analysis, our processed data for your own use and for your own systematic reviews. And if there are more than 4 RCT in a research topic, we will provide you a living meta-analysis. Living means we will update it as soon as a new RCT is available. It's state-of-the-art with risk of bias assessment, giving you data on mortality, length of hospital stay, and of course on all reported pancreas surgery specific complications like pancreatic fistula, and it gives you also the grading according to the grade system about certainty of evidence. So what can this map do for you? As a clinician, this is not another guideline, but you get pure and updated evidence, and this in an intuitive fashion. For you as researchers, you can set immediately your project into context and even speed them up by using our systematic approach and using our processed data, and you can find promising and necessary future research projects, and we also think this is important for the funding bodies, that they can spend the money on objective research gaps. And now I ask you to do something for the map. Please use it, like it, and share it. It's online since 12 o'clock today, and tweet it and use it on Facebook and cite it if you use it for your own research. Thank you.